Good afternoon, dear audience of Samarkand Tourism Forum. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. This is not last our podcast. Next will be next Tuesday. But we're very happy to be with you and that you are with us all this year. It was productive year for us, for tourism industry. And the very end of this good year for tourism recovery all over the world, I would like to introduce my good friend, first of all. And I also can say he is a mentor for me. Maybe he doesn't know about it, but Ahmed Yehia from Egypt. This guy owns very early bird project in sustainability, and this is the second time when Ahmed is with us in our podcast. First time was in podcast season. It was August 2020, in the middle of pandemic, and at that time Ahmed shared very precious experience. And at that time, it was very rare experience on eco and sustainable approach, which was already proved by several years in his practice. And Ahmed, today I quickly watched our podcast of 2020, and I realized that at that time, during my presentation of yours, I used word hype. In close to sustainability. Of course, it was my joke. I didn't find it hype. Otherwise, we would not provide that podcast with you. But it was very early approaches of us to understand what sustainability is. And sustainability, for me, I opened it like a direction for development only in 2020. But you, my friend, you do it for many years already, and I would like today to continue our conversation. Maybe we will come back to some examples or some facts of your business, which you shared with us back to 2020. But let's try to move forward, and please tell us, how is your business? How is your sustainable development inside your business and outside your business is going on, and also we are expecting that you will share with us more information about your new initiative, which is STO, Sustainable Tourism Organization of Egypt. I see you go forward. You are not only implementing sustainable practices in your business. Now you represent organization which is moving sustainability all over the country and maybe even outside the Egypt. So we are expecting you to share with us more about it. So would you like to start from some self-presentation? Maybe I missed some points about you, about your project.
Thank you, Misha. And hello, everybody who's connected to this webinar. Just a quick introduction, because maybe people didn't listen to my previous broadcast. So my name is Ahmed Yehia. I'm from Egypt. I used to work in different fields. I started as an architect, then I worked in computer science for a long time, then marketing and strategies inside international organization. Then I decided to quit my corporate life, doing a master degree called Cultural Heritage Management, where I got to know the terminology of ecotourism. And I started my first company, Eco Adventure, in 2014. That was a tour operator for ecotourism, the destination and ecotourism itineraries. And then I started my Ecolodge business, Eco Nubia, in 2018. It's a new company that focused in establishing and running ecolodges. Our project, Eco Nubia, managed to win an award from the World Tourism Organization in 2019, 1 year after it was open. The award was the best sustainable tourism startup in the Middle East 2019. It was amazing. And the business now is doing good. We had a drop during 2020, of course, you know about it, the pandemic. But after that, we had a great rebound. Lots of customers decided to try this new thing that's called ecotourism or sustainable tourism. Currently, we receive a great amount of guests with the help of international platforms like Booking.com, Expedia, TripAdvisor, and so on. And we moved our business from 5 rooms in 2018. Currently, we have 22 rooms in 2023.
22 double rooms?
It can be double or triple rooms. Yeah.
Approximately 45, 50 people, yeah, you can adopt.
Yes. And we see this a very good number for an Ecolodge, because Ecolodge don't work with the mass tourism. So we are not planning to go to 50 or 100 rooms. 22, 25 rooms is our maximum number. For the restaurant, we moved the restaurant from a 50-seat restaurant. Now the restaurant can accommodate up to 150 guests to enjoy the view of the restaurant and the Nubian food, the Nubian cuisine that we serve. So things are moving fine so far, Misha.
The first question is, tell us how guests who are not living in your island, because you are in island, you are in insulated, yes, and inhabited island, how those who are not living in your island, in your lodge, are getting your restaurant? Do you have like charter boats or whatever, bringing people to the island and back after their lunch or dinner?
So we introduced something new for Aswan city, which is restaurant reservation. It wasn't a common thing to reserve in a restaurant in Aswan city. Usually what happens, people just drop by, go to the restaurant, open the menu and order. In our case, because we don't do a pre-ready food or ready-made food that just heated like restaurants do, we have to do the meal from scratch. That's why the guests have to reserve 1 day before they arrive. And because they have to reserve, they contact us in our reservation number or reservation email. When they contact us and they submit their order, we send them directions how to reach us. So where they should go with the taxi, where they should meet our boat that will take them to the island. So we send boats for every guest that come to the restaurant to lunch or dinner at our restaurant. It's part of the package.
I see. So you have your, is it your own boat or some locals, they have their business and
both. We work with our boats that belong to the staff, and all the staff are Nubians. They are from the local community. So
still
we have
still the same Nubians, right?
Yeah, and if we have many guests that our staff boat is not enough, then we hire boats from the local community around us. Currently, I didn't mention how the progress in terms of staff. So when we started Eco Nubia 2018, we had 8 staff with us, 8 people.
Yeah.
Currently, Eco Nubia have 36 staff,
36.
all Nubians.
How many men and women, if it is not secret?
No, it's not secret, actually. From that 36, we have 8 women, and the rest is 28. Yeah, 28 men and youth.
And last question about your staff, because it's exciting opportunity to go deeply to your HR, to your sustainable HR. How many people now are on managerial positions? I mean, locals who were growing with you, with your project. Are there any on managing level?
actually from the Ecolodge director to the guy who carry the bags to the rooms. They are all Nubians. They are all local community. So they have all the hierarchy. There are managers. They are senior manager. There are directors. There are staff. Everybody is Nubian. Actually, I'm not interfering now with the operations of Eco Nubia. I handed over all the operations to the local community.
Oh, therefore you go and do some like NGO job. Association,
yeah. Now I'm thinking of opening our new Ecolodge. That will be in a different place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Same along the Nile or different location?
Our pick, we have many spots in mind in Egypt, but the most interesting one that we would like to start with is in a place called Luxor city, which is 200 kilometers north of Aswan, and it's on the west bank of Luxor, on the west, and it's in the middle of lots of antiquities and temples and monuments. It's an old village that was abandoned by the people. They left the houses. The houses now, nobody's doing anything with these houses. And it's the same concept like Eco Nubia. So we are trying to convince the government to give us these houses, because now the houses belong to the government, not to the local community.
This is the difference with your present place. But tell me, back to 2020, you told us that you like a kind of rented, not rented, but you promised to locals, because, okay, let's start from the beginning. Your island was abandoned, but buildings were still the property of some local people living outside the island. Yeah. And at that time, you told us that in 10 years period, you will give the property back to locals. Is this like still in power? And but time goes on, and now it's already like I see it's 6 years of your project. In 4 years,
yes.
You have to give property back to people. But will it be still Eco Nubia Ecolodge like it is now? What is your plan?
So, as I mentioned in our previous broadcast, the agreement with the Nubians was to build and run the island for 10 years. We managed to hire people that own the houses. So they are working with us at Eco Nubia. 7 of our workers are the owners of the houses. The nice thing is, after the COVID and after facing that pandemic for 1 year, and they noticed the drop in tourism, they decided to increase our leasing time or our benefit of Eco Nubia. So they moved it from 10 years to 15 years. So now we have the right to run the place for 15 years. As you mentioned, 6 years passed. This means we still have 9 years. The thing is, they think that having our contribution is an added value for them, especially in terms of marketing and sales. They are not still very good in marketing and sales, and they depend on us on that. So that's why they think that partnership should continue, and we shouldn't end it after the 10 years. So this is the case right now. But as I mentioned, every year we develop something new. So we are not keeping the thing as is. It's an organic project. So year 1, we had 5 rooms. We have a small restaurant. We have a beach area. Mm-hmm. Year 2, we moved it from 8 rooms to 16 rooms. And small restaurant and beach area. 2020, we shut down. We closed the island completely. 2021, we started with 16 rooms, beach area, multi-purpose hall, a hall where people can do gatherings and yoga, meditation, retreats, and so on. And the restaurant became bigger. In year 4, which was the exciting year 2022, we increased the number of rooms to 20, and we made a farm. We built a complete farm on the island where we grow what we consume. We have our vegetables, we have our fruits, we have our goats, we have our chicken on the island. So everything now is produced locally on the island, and we increased the restaurant from a 50-seat to 150 seats. So this means that we are not leaving the island as is to deliver it after 10 years. Every year we add something more. We invest from our money. We invest more into the island. So after 15 years, we give them a very big, fancy project.
Wow, and it seems now that you are creating circular economy in your island, yeah? Because
yes.
Now I want to ask you some deeper questions about, like, waste management. It's also important point. You will tell us about it later, but tell us about, like, compost, or what kind of technology do you use? Because I think you are self-sufficient. You have created some bubble on the island, yes, separated from the world. You have water, enough water from the Nile, yes, but the rest of things, and the soil, I think, is not rich over there, yes, and you can, like, produce your own compost. So how is your waste management operated, and what kind of organic circular things you are producing yourself? Like, let's start from the waste. How do you
so it happened from year one. From year one, we decided that we are not throwing anything from our waste. So we did our refinery station for the water of the Nile, purifying the water in order for the guests to use it for showers, and whoever would like to drink it, it's fine. If they drink other bottles of water, it's available. But the sewage, we managed to collect the sewage into one system, all the sewage, and then we have check rooms for separation where we separate solid and water. The solid goes to a biogas container, as I mentioned before, and the water goes to a refinery station, 3 stages of refinery that produce a clean water back again. So we use this clean water to irrigate our landscape, the things that don't provide eatable things or fruits, and we use the Nile water to irrigate our land. For the remaining of the restaurant, where we have the remaining of onion, potato, remaining of food, whatever, food that cannot be consumed, then we use it to do the compost for our agriculture or our land. The good remaining of food, we distribute it to local community if they would like to have it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we are trying to build a self-sufficient island where the island don't need to bring anything from outside. Currently, we are in the process of developing a handcraft area where we invite Nubians to come, the artisans to come on the island and start doing their handcrafts on the island, whether weaving, pottery, whatever. And then we sell these handcrafts for the guests. In the same time, the guests can try to do the handcraft themselves. So they can get a crash course and start doing the craft with the artisan, the Nubian artisan, and then they can get their piece with them back home. Wow. So this is our next milestone on the island. So making all these things can make the island one day a self-sufficient island.
I'm sure you don't use any plastic, yeah?
Unfortunately, we do. The bottles of water, we do. The wrapping for some
small bottles, or you mean big bottles, like for drinking water?
Small, like these ones. Yeah, but we collect these plastic. So we separate our garbage. We collect the plastic on one side and the organic on one side and the remaining on the other side. And the plastic, we give it to a collector who recycle these plastics, but not on our island. It's outside on Aswan.
I see. It's like in Uzbekistan, it's the same. people taking every plastic bottle, yes, because this is cash. You can
Yes.
give it to some collector, as you call it, yeah, and it is a cash. But what are you doing with other non-plastic, so liquid in terms of money? Because plastic is liquid, people are taking it, picking it, yes, but other garbage which is maybe brought by clients, yes, some plastic packing or other solid waste which is not so much required like by pickers.
So we divided our garbage into three parts. Plastics on one side that we give it to the collector. Organic, we keep it on the island because we use it for our as a fertilizer or compost. And then the remainings, we give it to another collector who are responsible to get this waste in Aswan garbage center, where they either recycle it or dump it. No, I'm not sure what they do with it. Yeah,
yeah, it's like logical and easy.
Yeah,
good. You mentioned the development now, and I remember that at that time you told us that you are positioning or like find yourself not like just DMO, destination management company, but this destination developing and managing company. So you are developing your product and you are managing it. Are you going to keep the same model in your future projects, and how it is now in Eco Nubia?
Yes, this is what we this is what we do. We don't just manage a destination. We develop the destination, then manage the destination. But we develop the destination according to our rules or our Bible, which is ecotourism and sustainable tourism. Because you can find another company who manage a destination, but from a different perspective, mass tourism or luxurious tourism or whatever. So in our case, we are a destination and development destination management company that help in developing a destination using the principles of ecotourism. The problem is we face a problem with the policy level. When I mean policy, I mean the country welcoming this type of tourism or not. In our case, in Egypt case, when I started 2018, I didn't start from scratch because I had many people in Egypt who did eco lodges long time ago. So I went to them, I sat with them, I had their experience, and then I started my thing, and they were a great help to me when I have a question or I have an inquiry. So this is very rich, but the problem is Egypt is dominated by the mass tourism. We can say 95% of tourism coming to Egypt would go to the sun and sea and cultural tourism. When we say culture, I mean temples and visit monuments and things like that.
Pyramids.
While ecotourism, is not that famous in 2018 when I started. That's why there is no licensing for facilities related to ecotourism. We faced that problem in 2019 when we managed to win the award from the World Tourism Organization. The one who gave me the award was the Minister of Tourism, Egyptian Minister of Tourism. And he asked me a very logical question at that time. Ahmed, how come you manage an international award and you don't have license for your facility? And I said, because minister, you don't have license for me. And he said, how come? I said, you have license for hotels, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star, and so on. If I applied to have a license, most probably you will give me a 1 star, because the criteria for 3 star or 4 star or 5 star hotel, I don't have it in my eco lodge. You will be asking for air condition in the room. I don't have air condition. You will be asking for a telephone in the room. I don't have a telephone in there. You will be asking for a swimming pool. I don't have a swimming pool.
One star only.
Yeah. So this criteria is not suitable for me. If you give me a 1 star, I will not even put it in my reception, because I'm selling my room with a 5-star hotel price.
$100, yeah, right?
Yes, yeah. Now it's 120. So,
wow.
so that's why I'm telling them, no, you don't have a license for it. At that time, the Minister of Tourism, her name was Dr. Rania Al-Mashat. She was cooperative, so she decided to work with me. Okay, Ahmed, let's do a license, a new license in the Egyptian code for you guys, for whoever have an accommodation like yourself. And when I count how many people have eco lodges in Egypt, I would say we are between 8-9 facilities. So we're not that big, but we would like the industry to grow. If there is a license, this will encourage other people to open eco lodges. So we've been working on that from 2019, and we just managed to have the government creating a new license for eco lodges. It was this year, March 2023. Wow. So now Egypt have a license for eco lodges. Eco lodges can apply for that license, and the criteria for the license is completely different than the criteria for hotels.
Wow, Ahmed, and for us to understand the scale of your achievement, tell us how many other countries have such a criteria or such a separated, devoted license for eco lodges. Do you know?
When we start,
you are, because
yeah, when we
in many conferences, yeah.
Yeah, when we start doing our own license, actually the government asks us, okay, guys, you are the expert, you put the criteria, because we don't have experts inside the Ministry of Tourism to put criteria for eco lodges. We don't know it. Okay. So we managed to gather all the people who own eco lodges in Egypt, and we start doing meetings and workshops to develop the criteria for that license. And of course, we start asking who other countries have that criteria. We found Oman, which is next to Emirates and Yemen. They do have a criteria for eco lodges. We didn't see anything in Saudi Arabia at that time. We didn't find anything in Emirates at that time. We found something minor in Jordan, but not complete. On the west side, Morocco, Tunisia, we didn't see anything that meet the criteria. Other countries worldwide, Costa Rica, they are very advanced in ecotourism and they have a license.
Okay.
Actually, the big umbrella that create licenses for sustainable tourism in the world, it's called GSTC. I'm sure you heard about GSTC.
Yeah, of course. But
GSTC, they don't have a license for eco lodges. So we are working
criteria, right? And not for eco lodges, but for like generally for all players.
Yeah. So we'll be working soon with the GSTC to create a license, an international license for eco lodges.
But even if you do it with GSTC, I am still like very much surprised with how did you manage to make it in Egypt. Yeah, and this is big point. I think now countries of our region, countries of Central Asia can advance in promoting their brands as a sustainable by just adopting same criteria and start to issue licenses or certificate for like sustainable or eco accommodation.
That would be amazing. Yeah, that would be amazing. But we have to differentiate. Yeah, but we have to differentiate between two things, Misha: license and certificate.
Yeah.
License actually. Oh wow! What are these balloons?
It's your computer, I think. Please.
Yeah. So license is is something I should take from the government I'm in, like the country I'm inside, in order to be able to work. This is license. So this, if you are in Uzbekistan, then you should have a license in Uzbekistan government. Certificate is different. Certificate is over and above the license. I get certificate from GSTC or from TIES or from whatever certificate body who encourage customer to go to that facility because they are certified. So we have two levels of thing. License is level number 1, then certificate is level number 2.
Yeah, license is a permission to work. The certificate is a like stipulation of your achievement, of your
ensuring
level.
Quality, quality,
ensuring quality or your achievement in something. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Good. So, and how many other ecolodges were participated in all this process? And is STO-Egypt the same organization which you which was created during this process of working with Egypt government on this issue? Or
so
different?
No, it is STO. So the work started when Eco Nubia won the award in 2019, and then the interaction happened between me and the minister. But I thought I cannot do this thing alone, so I have to gather people to form a body in order to talk to the government. Ahmed Yehia cannot talk alone to the government, but if we have 10 or 15 people, then we can form an alliance that can talk to the government. So we did that in 2020 during the pandemic. And that group was formed by Ecolodge owners, by people who are expert in ecotourism in general, by people from the academia, professors in the universities who teach sustainability and tourism, by people with experts in handicrafts in general in Egypt from different backgrounds. So we thought, okay, this is very valuable that we managed to gather all these people and doing the criteria for Ecolodge. So after finishing the criteria, we decided to move that group of people into a legal entity, which is NGO. So we formed an NGO, and we thought about what should we name it, and we decided to name it Sustainable Tourism Organization, STO. But then a bigger dream came to us, like, why STO is just in Egypt? We would like to see STO in other countries. That's why we decided to name our NGO STO-Egypt.
Yeah.
Because in the future, we would like to see STO-Oman, STO-Saudi Arabia, STO-Uzbekistan, STO-UK. And now, we've been working as an NGO for 1 year now. We established the NGO last year in 2022. I traveled to Oman last year, and I had a discussion with the Omanis about creating NGO in Oman with the same name, STO Oman, and they got excited about that. Even the Ministry of Tourism in Oman is interested in helping in doing this NGO. So currently they are doing the paperwork for that, and we are still waiting for the Sultan decision about declaration for that NGO to have STO Oman. Jordanians are willing to do STO Jordan, and once we form these STOs, they can help each other. So if Oman need help from STO Egypt, then STO Egypt can help. If Jordanians need something from Egyptians, and so on. And that's why I encourage, if you have a good network inside Uzbekistan for people who work in sustainable tourism, why don't you guys form STO Uzbekistan? And then STO Egypt can help STO Uzbekistan in anything they would like to have or to do. And if we have these STOs, if we have enough critical mass of STOs, like 10 STOs worldwide, in the future we can form STO Global. sustainable tourism organizations globally that are formed from the small STOs in different countries. So this is our big dream now.
Yeah, really. It will be the analog of DMO, right? Because STO can do the same job like DMO, but in sustainable approach.
Actually, we think about STO in a different. DMO would work on ground, like do things on ground, like marketing, sales, development, and so on. While our NGO is working in the policy level, which is a higher level, in the laws, in the alliances, in the networking, so this is, and you cannot do a DMO without fixing the policies first. Like you can do great work on ground, but when you try to get a license for that work, you don't find a license for that work. So you have to work on the policy level with the government of the country on how to change that policy. And in order not to start from scratch, this is why we encourage STOs to deal with each other. So if STO Uzbekistan would like to create an Ecolodge criteria, STO Egypt already did one. So STO Egypt can send the criteria to Uzbekistan, and the Uzbekistan STO start to modify that criteria to be suitable for Uzbekistan projects. And so
yes, not to invent the wheel. Right, exactly. Right. But during elaboration of your criteria, did you take an example from other countries, or you did it from the scratch yourself?
No, we don't start from scratch, never. So we start exploring the literature, everything that was written about Ecolodge license or Ecolodge criteria.
Globally,
so what we found, globally, yes.
Globally,
so what we found, we found that there was a very famous NGO called the International Ecotourism Society, TIES. They exist from long time ago. And they put an Ecolodge criteria in 2002. So we downloaded that criteria and we used it as a reference. Then we found the USAID doing an Ecolodge criteria for the Red Sea in 2008.
Project.
So we downloaded that one. So we have 2002, 2008 USAID. Then the GIZ did a very nice criteria for ecolodges in 2015. So Egypt? We had all for Egypt, yes.
For Egypt. For Egypt,
yeah. But both USAID and GIZ, when they did their own criteria, they referenced others' criteria. So they didn't start from scratch too. So we downloaded all that literature, we gathered it, we formed a wall with lots of sticky notes and flip charts, and we start moving things. So our criteria is a mix and development for 4 other criteria that was developed before us.
Okay. And coming back to Ecolodge like a business, but in terms of sustainability, it seems for me now that that we can call this type of business, we are about hospitality now, yeah, like a blue ocean, because red ocean, it's when you are fighting for your star. Yes, you have to have elevator, swimming pool, this, that, yes, to be like the star you think you deserve to be. Yeah, and here we have an entire blue ocean without competition at all, yeah, where you can earn like you like you do, $120 per night per room, like in a property made from the clay and local trees and this that. So it means that if it is properly institutionally fixed, yes, and licensed, it could be a new wave of like blue ocean businesses which will not be competing so much, because it's still like I don't think it will be mass market, as you say. In Egypt, the mass market is 99% is different type of hotels, but anyway, you have found your niche and your way. And how many other ecolodges are in Egypt in numbers, like 40, 20? Those who are working with you on this policy and maybe in your chain?
Okay, as I mentioned, we don't have that big amount. We are between 6 and 7 real ecolodges. Like they have all what is in that criteria. But the problem is, ecolodge became very sexy word in tourism in Egypt in the last 10 years. That's why lots of people are now putting in their signages in front of the building that they are ecolodge, while they are not. And that was a big problem, because if the guest is really educated about what is ecolodge, and he went to a facility that they named themselves ecolodge, and then he found out that they don't do anything related to ecolodge, he lost the trust of the word ecolodge. So when they come to us, they come with a doubt. Are you a really ecolodge, or you are just greenwashing? Like we call it greenwashing, like people who are trying to be on the side of green. So that's why we really cared about putting a license for ecolodges, that nobody is now allowed to put the word ecolodge in their signages if they don't meet the criteria. Ecolodge is a profitable business because we calculate our EBITDA margin, our profit margin, and actually, in terms of margins, like percentages, we are better than hotels. So hotel margin can be 30% EBITDA or 35%. We can, in terms of EBITDA, which is a terminology in finance, we can reach 40%. But of course, 40% of our sales can be like 5 million Egyptian pound. So the 40% is a small number compared to a hotel that their sales can reach 100 million pound. So it's a different, but in terms of profitability, no, ecolodges is more profitable than hotels. This is what we proved.
Are you comparing now with the same hotel, I mean number of rooms, with a hotel with the same?
We don't have, in Egypt, we don't have hotels that 20 rooms. All hotels are 50 plus. Yeah,
it was my question. Yeah. So, but you still have a very, very limited number of rooms, and at the same time, quite good profit. It's exciting. But my question about I want to come back to certification point, because this is very sensitive. Now we are on the very sensitive field of greenwashing and the difference between true green business and greenwashing. I think that international and even some local certificates can also like certify that you are green company or sustainable company, not only license, right? Because we have some certifications for like Good Seal program and other, Yes Travel Life and other programs, certification programs, which can certify that you are green hotel. Is it correct? Without any licensing, but by certification, you can at least avoid the green, like that someone will say you are greenwashing us.
I think the guest is the one who decides if you are greenwashing or not. But the thing is, in that case, the guests have two tools to decide whether they will go to your facility or not. These two tools are, number one is certification. If you do have a certification and you presented that certification on your website or on booking.com that you are sustainable business, this will encourage guests to go. But the other level, which is very important, is the feedback, the reviews.
Of course.
How people speak about your facility. I can do a facility, I'll be doing greenwashing, but the comments of the guests who will arrive to me will show that I'm doing greenwashing, because they will not be happy of what I'm doing. So it's a tricky business now, because reviews are becoming very strong tool in sales and marketing. So if my reviews are saying that I am greenwashing, whatever certificate I will have, people will not come.
Okay, and what can you say about the sustainable travel program of Booking.com? Of course, I'm sure you have 3 leaves, yes, 3 green leaves.
Yes.
But
yes.
you know, Ahmed, what I recently realized that many hotels, even in Uzbekistan, many hundreds of hotels in each tour center, yes, like Samarkand and Bukhara, have some leaves. And when you come inside and talking with the owners or with staff, you understand that people have even no idea of what this program is. So Booking.com doesn't require now any kind of certificates or any other proof. They just say in the disclaimer that we trust to the information which was provided by this hotel, and this hotel is like striving for sustainability, doing many things, but they don't prove it. How do you think, will they start to request some proof like certification? Because it's not how to say, it's not just justice. Yes, there is no justice, because you do your job and other guys, they are not doing any kind of activities, maybe 1 or 2 pieces of some criteria. Yes, they don't have plastic bottles, okay, it's not enough, yes, to say I am sustainable, and both of you have like 3 leaves. Yeah, of course, reviews.
Okay.
Reviews is a tool, yes, to prove.
Yes.
But anyway, without reviews, how can we like?
I know about the sustainability program of Booking.com, the 3 green leaves, and it's easily can be obtained from any facility. If they just put that we recycle, blah, 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 we do blah, 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 then it's they can get it. And what I see is Booking, it's a nice movement. Booking was forced to do that. So now the green and sustainable travel is booming and growing, and people would like to go to sustainable destination and green destination. That's why Booking is forced now to use these tools. But he knows that they cannot limit it to a very small number of hotels. They would like to do a competition between hotels who will be more greener than the other. But they are not asking for any certification, because we don't have a certification body that we can use in terms of Egypt. We don't have a local certification body that we can use and give it to Booking.com as a proof that we do have certification. And they cannot enforce us to go to GSTC to have a certificate that costs this amount of dollars in order to be a sustainable. So I think Booking.com is just moving with the movement of sustainability. But I'm sure lots of greenwashing is happening, as you said, and Booking.com cannot control that. They cannot. So the only way to know if this facility is doing greenwashing or not is the feedback of the guests that they have. At least now we have something to differentiate our facility than normal facility, which is the 3 leaves of Booking.com. But still, we are trying now with Booking.com to add ecolodges as a type. So people can apply to be a hotel on Booking.com, a private apartment or a private facility, or an ecolodge. Because Booking.com, they don't have ecolodges. They have the word lodge, but not ecolodge. So
Even
having an Ecolodge on booking.com, this will be a great added value, and nobody's allowed to have that degree if they don't prove that they are a real Ecolodge. So this is another level of our work as STO to work with booking.com and Expedia about this new level. And I'm sure GSTC can help with that. If we manage to create an Ecolodge license in GSTC, this will convince the platforms to create a new type, and they call it Ecolodges. But because there is no criteria for Ecolodges in STC, which is the biggest certificate body for tourism, then that's why booking.com, Expedia, and others will not do an Ecolodge type now.
And for you, Ecolodge, is it exactly the type of buildings that you have, or it could be like normal building made of concrete and I don't know, like bricks, but keeping or using all other sustainable tourism criteria in the appearance?
No, in our criteria, the Ecolodge criteria that we put it for Egypt, you have to have natural material. You cannot use normal bricks. Yeah, but we don't limit to a certain material. So you can use wood, you can use rocks, you can use mud, you can use palm, you can use any material that you have in your country. Like in Mongolia, this York that they use. Yeah, it's a natural material that they are using. So it can be an Ecolodge. But building with cement, concrete, and normal bricks, no. We are encouraging people to destroy the nature more, because this material is not coping with the nature. And by the way, there is an important thing in the Ecolodge criteria. You cannot get a material that is not suitable for the natural area that you are having. So you cannot use palm products in an area they don't have even palm in their area. So where did you get the palm from? You cannot use wood to build an Ecolodge in an area that they don't have trees. So where did you get the wood from? We encourage people to build from within. You go to the area, you see what are the natural resources in that area, and you use the natural resources, whatever the natural resources are. So we don't limit it to a certain material, but we encourage to use the natural resources of the area itself.
Wow, exciting. And at the same time, you are protecting historical or heritage of construction, yes, because people were constructing buildings for ages in this area using some certain local materials. Now, if you wanted to build Ecolodge, you go to history, to these people, to villages, and see how do they do it and implement it in some modern.
Yeah, building an Ecolodge, Misha, is not something easy, actually, because you have to do lots of research before building an Ecolodge. And we always refer to ecotourism with the three main pillars. Nature is one pillar. You have to study the nature of the area that you have. Local community, the people who live there, because you will be using them as employees, as people who will work on the Ecolodge. And then cultural heritage. What is the history of these people? Because you will be using their own cultural heritage inside the Ecolodge. Ecolodge in Egypt should not promote the cultural heritage of people of Emirates. And Ecolodge in Uzbekistan shouldn't promote the cultural heritage of people of Europe. No, they promote the heritage, the cultural heritage of the people of Uzbekistan. Not even the people of Uzbekistan, the people who are living around that natural place specifically. So in our case, when we studied the Nubian heritage, we found it so rich, so rich in terms of food. That's why when we built Soleil, our restaurant Soleil, and we introduced the Nubian food, the Nubians was actually reluctant, or they thought, would people actually love this type of food? Because we don't serve this food to guests, to tourists. And I said, why don't you? So they said, we think that they will not love it. When we built our restaurant Soleil and people start to come and eat the Nubian food, they got shocked. Oh, wow, what is this? This is a very good food.
Here, so experience starts, right? Experience starts.
Exactly,
here.
Exactly. And then they start, how come you are not serving your food for that long time? And they said, oh, we had the perception that you will not love our food. So this is a shock. When we studied the Nubian bed, the bed that people sleep on, which is a very strange bed in the Nubia, we found that the heritage goes back to the ancient Egyptians. The ancient Egyptian bed that we found it in tombs in Egypt, they inherited that bed, they did some modification to that bed, and they used it. Now, we managed in certain rooms in our Ecolodge to make a replica, a perfect replica of the ancient Egyptian bed that we found in the tombs, because this is the grandfather for the bed of the Nubians. So
wow,
studying heritage is important.
Can you show this bed to us now? You were going, by the way, to share some pictures.
Yes, let me share something with you.
Wow, and I'm excited to see what kind of bed was.
Okay, can you see now?
Yeah, now I can see your presentation.
Okay, let's go quickly. So this is the location of Eco Nubia on an island in the middle of the water, and then this is the view of the old houses of the Nubians after we rebuilt it, and they are facing the temple. Can you see the picture, Misha?
Yeah. And I see the temple
okay, perfect.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So right, this is our island now with the farm on the right side. This is the farm where we grow what we eat. And this is the history of, when we started in 2017, the construction until October 2023. This is the full history of Eco Nubia. And this is the zoning. What we do, we have a multi-purpose hall on top of the mountain. We have accommodation inside the houses. We have a farm. We have a restaurant. We have a store for selling handcrafts. We have the handcraft area, and we have a beach area for people to swim. And this is the way they do the bread in the old Nubia. We are reviving that bread making mechanism. So we are doing it right now. The staff, they are all Nubians from different backgrounds. None of them is graduated from tourism institute. They are all normal local community. Some of them actually didn't go to school.
Now they have enough experience and skill to teach.
Yes, of course. Tourism. Yeah, with training, yes. This is the view of the restaurant where people can have breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Exciting.
Yeah. Activities, we have many activities right now, like bird watching, handicraft, swimming, kayaking, sailing, hiking, village tour, yoga, and so on.
Climbing.
And this is the famous circle for the 17 goals of sustainable development goals. And we did something very interesting now. We actually managed to know Eco Nubia, how much Eco Nubia satisfy each goal in percentages.
I remember from the previous webinar,
yes,
it was 8 or 9, yes. And
yes, but now we make it in terms of percentage, because some goals we satisfy 50%, some goals we satisfy 90%, some goals is 10%. And actually this is very interesting because it gave us some insights on what should we do for the future. Like you can see here that goal number 3 and goal number 4, we are taking a very low score. on
There
goal
is a
3 and
room.
goal 4.
There is a room for development.
There is
right?
a room for improvement. We can do something about good health and well-being, and we can do something about education, which is goal 4. We are thinking now of building a sustainable institute, a small sustainability institute on the Bigeh Island to teach sustainability. So this will help us. Yes.
Can we stop one moment here? Look, from business perspective, but you are still business, yes, and a very profitable business. From a business strategy perspective, it is usually said that you have to pay attention to your strong points, yes, mainly. And let's say you have like 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 or maybe even 6 strong points according to sustainable goals. Yes, you are like 100 or 90 or 80% satisfy 6 of them. If you pay a lot of attention to the rest of 11, is it not a risk for you to lose your position in first 6? Yes, which is your strong point, which is your main, which is main driver of your development, right?
Actually, my opinion, no, because we got a high score for things that already fixed from day one, like water and sanitation. We already did the refinery of water. We already did the recycling of sewage. So we don't need to do anything about it anymore. So once we satisfy a goal, it's checked. It's done. Let's go to the other one. So they can be all satisfied in one day. Okay.
I see.
And then come to the pictures. This is our farm, and this is the view of the island. Let's go to the bed. On the last picture down to the right, do you see that bed?
Yeah, I see, but not clearly. But
okay, I will increase it.
Something like mattress or.
Okay, I'll try to get a better picture. Oh, okay. Okay, now it's bigger. Yeah,
strip mattress.
It's actually without a mattress. They used to do it with ropes. So it's
maybe it's not easy to move. Picture. I see.
I'm moving now. Oh, yeah. It's here.
Yeah.
So this is the ancient Egyptian bed. They used to do it with logs of. Yeah, they used to do it with logs of wood, and then between the wood they do weaving with threads. So the threads are the mattresses. Is where people used to. Yeah.
I didn't look at this construction. I was looking at the carpet.
No, the construction.
No. Now I see the construction is a bed. Yes, and carpet is a carpet. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. And this is another photo of the bed, but this is when we put a mattress on the bed. So we give the guest now the choice. Would you like to sleep on it like the ancient Egyptians slept on it without a mattress, or we can put a mattress for you? So you have the choice. So this is the bed, and maybe we can continue the photos if you'd like to see the rest of the photo. The bed, and this is the views of the island.
Was this kind of bed available for pharaohs only?
We found it actually. We found it actually in a queen tomb. It's called Hetep Queen. She is the mother of Khofo, one of the kings who built one of the pyramids. So it was a royal bed, yeah.
The royal bed. Okay. Now your customer guest is a.
They are royals now.
Royal, yes. Pharaoh.
Yeah, and this is our farmer with some tomato and the views. And this is our awards so far. So it wasn't only the UNWTO. We received an award from Ministry of Environment in Egypt. The World Tourism Day in 2020, we were featured on that World Tourism Day. a magazine called Startup Guide magazine. We were featured in Startup Guide magazine during the climate change conference in Egypt, COP27. We were featured. Booking.com, they gave us the what was it? Award of Traveler Review Award by Booking.com. We were featured on CNN. They did a full program about us, about how we revived the Nubian food, and it was streamed on CNN International. African Development Bank also did a feature about us, and they presented it in one of their conferences. We are on TripAdvisor. We are Traveler Choice on TripAdvisor in Aswan. And we received the Leadership Award from Mila Network, which is sister of Sela Network. Yeah. So these are awards. Yeah.
Exciting number of awards. Unfortunately, there is no any kind of local award. Yes, Egyptian one, but
Minister of Environment.
Is there one of them? With the eagle, yes. I think. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Because I couldn't read what is written over there.
Yeah. No, wow. It was Minister of Environment.
Local award is also over there. Wow, Ahmed. Again, so big volume of insights from your side.
Thank you.
I have a proposal to you to consider to come to Samarkand Tourism Forum next February from 8 to 10 February next year. We are trying to tune our forum to be sustainable in different from different side perspectives, and we have dedicated sessions for them. But I think together with you, we can set a separated session which will be dedicated to your STO-Egypt experience, and at the same time we can not only announce this idea, yes, but gather, make it like a round table and gather people interested in this, and maybe some governmental people will join us, educational people. We can replicate somehow how you did it in Egypt to make our way shorter because we don't have another.
I will be happy to do that, Misha. Definitely. Yeah.
Wow.
It will be my pleasure. Yeah.
Let's discuss this opportunity just after our webinar.
Sure.
But the point which I wanted to stipulate now, we don't have another 5 years for this. So now things like this have to go quicker, because sustainability, as you say, it's coming like a tremendous trend. Yes, and nobody still can measure it. Yes, but people are feeling that this wave, this tsunami is coming. Yes, together with the request of guests. So I think we have to forward this topic, and let's discuss it after webinar. And now, thank you very much. I do hope this is not last your visit to us, even in this webinar format. Let's say in a couple of years we can again meet and talk about your advancement, because it's very important not to learn from the beginning, but to learn together with you, with your now 2 and maybe at that time 3 organizations, 2 ecolodges and 1 NGO. How do you do it in Egypt? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, and Happy New Year for you too, Misha. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.